Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily is part of the Modern Grower Podcast Network. Check out some of our other shows like Carrot Cash Flow, the Growing Microgreens Podcast, and Farm Small, Farm Smart. Learn more about the shows using the link below. So if you think about the care that you've put into designing the booth, arranging the vegetables, maintaining them throughout the market, and then conversing with people, you're doing that on the fly. When you move online, you're doing that in advance. How do you translate that same experience online? What have you found has been really important to setting up your store to convey what you think is important?
That's been another one of my personal major challenges. I guess collectively, it's all of our challenge. I have my hands so deep in the website that what goes into it doesn't really go beyond my desk, with a certain exception of the obvious things like pictures and descriptions and kind of the ancillary things that go with each individual item on a store. So this season, my focus for that has been, she's got the photography background, whether that's with the big nice camera or if it's just a really good picture with a cell phone, whatever it is, having pictures that represent what happens on the farm, not just a picture of the item, which is super important. The glossy bunch of beets or carrots or whatever it is, really nicely presented, really nicely displayed, obviously for that initial catch, but having a picture of her or one of the crew holding that thing, or kind of getting a reference of size or the packaging or any of the other things that come along with that you might see at market are important. But probably even equally as important as the pictures would be the description. So when you actually get into the item, things like the things that you can't tangibly do online that you do in market, like how big is this thing? How much am I getting? Things like,
what's it used for? Yeah.
What's it used for? Yeah.
So I'm going to read the descriptions of both and then just say, okay, which one's going to fit my needs better? If I think vegetables and I have carrots and I go to your site to buy carrots, I'm not really comparing it against anything, right? Like I need to know carrots and I know what peas are and that. And maybe there's some information to fill in gaps of my knowledge of just what I don't recognize. What I'm getting at is I think sometimes people go overboard and they put too much in the description when it's carrots, or if it was dairy, it's milk. What do you need to say? Where have you found that sweet spot of this is a nice amount of information to convey? So I'm not, because the other thing is like blocks of text. Some people are just like too many words.
Yeah. So for example, for us, like on our lettuce varieties, people around Oklahoma are used to iceberg and romaine. That's what they're used to seeing. Maybe bib. That's a big one. So for us, we grow in certain parts of the season, we'll grow a romaine, we'll grow a bib, we'll grow a panisse, we'll grow a muir. So how do they know which ones to get? So that's when I'll say on, for example, like a Cherokee, it's a red lettuce that's similar in texture and crunch to a romaine. Panisse is tender like bib, but without the cup shape. Great for sandwiches or salads. Muir is going to have the crunch like iceberg, but a lot more flavor. So things like that. Very simple. On our other items, it's going to be more of like our zephyr squash, or our zucchini. We do courgettes size. I don't know if he even has it on here. I haven't looked at the website, but courgette, I get asked that at market. What's a courgette? In that Oklahoma accent. And I'm like, it just means baby squash in French. It just is more fun to say than baby squash. And then I explain, like, we harvest them at this size. They'll be between 4 and 7 inches because there's more creamy in the texture and more flavorful than when they get large, which is what people are used to seeing in Oklahoma.
So less is more sometimes. It's just like you're saying. We don't have paragraphs. It's at the most, it's a sentence or two about a description of, if it's a varietal type thing, a very basic description, for instance, the lettuces. But oftentimes it'll be a brief description. It'll be product size or weight. It is in layman terms as you can online, in ounces or pounds, or how many things of a bunch you get. You try to convey that in a way that is basic English as possible. But then in addition to that, what I tried to do starting at the end of last year was, at the end of the description, is putting a link to a recipe or a collection of recipes. That way it's not just Here's the thing, okay, because it's that same thing at market that's missing online is that conversational piece. So what do you do with it? Here's a link. Here's an idea for a recipe that you can use to make this. Oh, okay, what's a good decision? Buy that.
Hello, growers. Say goodbye to heavy sandbags and hello to Modern Growers Quick Hoops Low Tunnels. Protect your plants from pests, wind, rain, and frost without the hassle of sandbags or flimsy hoops. Our patented design eliminates the need for clamps and ropes, while the unique wire system keeps covers secure yet easily accessible. Tested in the strong winds of New Zealand for over 20 years, Quick Hoops are light, strong, portable, and versatile. Most importantly, they're designed for field use. These aren't some lightweight system that only looks great in a greenhouse. Our hoops are designed to last in harsh field conditions. Use them with any covering to grow year-round and safeguard your crops. Shade cloth, frost blanket, insect net, clear poly, no problem. Quick Hoops can handle them. Get Quick Hoops today at shop.moderngrower.co and protect your crops for years to come.